This is one of the easier builds to assemble, so you're just going to start with the tool gun from VMod, go to the schematic section, and look for the schematic. In this case, it is this one. We're going to load it. You'll have this now. You can just right-click it, and it will appear. When it first appears, this thing, one of the boosters is going to be firing up here, so it's going to fall over. But it will not blow up, even if it notices something. What you're going to want to do is use the vs get ship command to find its slug, and then you're going to use vs set static, wild turmeric lag in this case, set it to true so that it can't move, then pick it up, get it basically upright like that, set it to static again. Now you can get rid of this backup block. This thing is already on, the engine's already on. It has a creative tank that has gasoline in it already, but if you're trying to do this in survival, you could then take a schematic of this, and then you could build it in survival that way and form it into a physics entity to probably still work, but it's way easier to use VMod. And then maybe you'd want to replace it with a transmitter, not a creative barrel. Regardless, you don't have to worry about that. If you want to turn the engine off, though, you can flick that lever, and that will stop the engine in there from running. Now you're going to come over here. You can open up these trap doors, and it should already have the observer right where it is. And this is the altitude monitor thing. You can configure the height at which the rocket jumps to right here just by increasing or decreasing it. It's set to 300 by default, so you can just leave that or change it if you want. Around here is another trap door. There should be an end rod right there, a redstone torch there. It just should be left the way that it is. And then if we come up here, there should be a gap, and you can see that there is a lime wool down there. In other words, it should be good to go without doing anything. Now, I've had mixed results with the gyro. Sometimes it's worked, and sometimes it is interfered with the flight, and I'm not sure why. However, I have noticed that the gyro doesn't actually seem to be required. So I'm not really sure what the deal is with that yet. You can try putting it here. It might help some, it might not, it might do nothing, it might screw it up. We're going to be flying without it right now, but the system is still in place if you want to run it. It's still going to function if you added it. So now to go and launch it, you're going to come up here, push this button. You'll notice that this booster up here turns off, and the rocket boosters have actually turned on. It's just not going anywhere because it's static. If you want the nuke to detonate, come over here and right-click this, shift right-click it so that it becomes a receiver. If you don't want it to detonate, just leave it. We don't really want it to detonate right this moment. And then depending on which direction you want the missile to go in once it's launched, you're going to come up here and look at these various color-coded things. Right now it's using the green channel because this link here, which is what controls the booster, is set to green. But let's say we wanted to do blue. Now when that fires, it's going to do this booster here, this thruster here, so it's going to point it in that direction. You can also, if you want, just spin the rocket on its axis like that, and then point it the way you want it to go. Other than that, we are ready to go. There is a small chance that some part of it may not work right away because of the fact that we just spawned it in as a physics entity, but we're going to try it nonetheless, and if it has problems, then I'll show you how to fix them because you'll probably have the same problem. Anyways, here we go. And notice that it's not actually unstable even though we don't have the gyro. So the gyro doesn't actually seem necessary. Okay, there we go. So we went down a little bit too much. Other than that, though, the systems function the way they were supposed to, and that is a good excuse to go look at a different system that we have here, the rest of it. So since we didn't have the nuke, it's reusable, but you're going to have to do some stuff to reset it. If you come over to these trapdoors, you're going to look at this observer, you're going to want to break it and move it down by one block and make sure it's facing that way. Then we're going to go over here. We're going to get rid of this end rod, move it back by a block, put the redstone torch back. If you come over here, wait until you hear the piston move, and then push this lime wool down by a block. But actually, wait, open this, and here's how you configure the different stuff. So we had the orientation booster go too long. So we're going to look at this, and we're going to switch it down to like 15 ticks to fire that booster. That's how long you control that. If you look at that interval thing over there, this is how long the main boosters fire after you've reoriented. So right now it's doing 7 seconds. We could make it like 12 seconds. So it'll fire the main boosters again for longer before shutting them off. Once you've done that, place this wool back here. And now we should be ready to go again. So you're going to push the button again, come in here, set it to no longer static, and we're going to launch and see if that shorter adjustment time makes us not point straight back to the ground. Yeah, that actually was quite a bit better. And you can also change the strength of those thrusters at the top if you want it to be more or less strong. That'll just then affect how long you need to fire them. So here we go. We are coming back in. And if that had a nuke, this whole place would have been blown up. But that is how you use the rocket. If you want, you can replace the nuke up there with something else like normal TNT or a different type of bomb from another mod that can use redstone power to light it. You could use wired fuses on shells. You could replace it with a fusion bomb, also from Warium, although it doesn't seem to be any bigger. But anyways, hopefully that helped you set this up. On happy blowing up villages, I guess, or whatever you're going to blow up.